Hi, I'm Charlie Mattos, and welcome to I Played the Ryman. The iconic Ryman Auditorium turned 125 years old in 2017, and for the last couple of years, we have had such a fun time partnering with the Ryman for a series entitled I Played the Ryman, and it is such a pleasure to welcome Mac Powell to this episode.
Oh, man, great to be there. I was there, believe it or not, the very first night the Ryman was open 127 years ago.
I'm sure there have been nights on the road it felt that way,
It does
right?
feel like it sometimes.
Well, certainly that iconic building was such a huge part of the farewell tour for Third Day with 3 sold-out nights. But before we get to the farewell, take me to the very first time you remember ever walking in that building.
I remember going and seeing a guy who ended up being a friend of mine, but I was a big fan of this singer-songwriter, a guy named Rich Mullins. And Rich played there, and I had never been to the Ryman, of course, heard about it my whole life. Walked in and was just blown away about how beautiful it was and the history behind it. So I actually got to go backstage and kind of meet with Rich for a little while. So it's almost like I saw that before I saw the actual building of sitting out for the show. And then the next time, this is my favorite memory of walking in. The first time I got to go in backstage as an artist, and they had a little book there, and they used to sign your name in, when you walk in the back through security. And I'm looking down that list as I'm about to sign, and there was some event the night before, and Chet Atkins had signed, and he said something to the effect of "Good to be back again" or something like that, and he listed, I think it was 125 times or something like that. And I just remember going, man, what this signature right here is great enough. And just to be here at the Ryman, to think about all the people who have played that stage, and now I get to play on it, I mean, it's pretty overwhelming.
Even that archway as you enter through the alley and that
going
curved
up those steep
stairs.
steps,
yeah,
yes.
I mean, it's pretty cool. So I love the fact that you actually saw a show there before you performed a show there.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be that comfort when you step on stage, knowing how good it's going to sound out when they're hearing it out there.
Well, not only does it sound good, for anybody who hasn't been in there, it's beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. And they got the old school, church bench seats and church pews. And there's that low overhang, and it's just and then you've got the windows, the stained glass windows. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. They've done an amazing job of not only keeping it up, but renovating it as well.
I tell people even sound check is spiritual when the sun is coming through that stained glass.
And you've got that the circle. Will the circle be unbroken? And you stand there right in the middle of it. It's pretty special.
So take me to 3 sold-out nights on that farewell tour, because that's still a very fresh memory. We're talking just a little over a year ago.
Yeah, it was just over a year ago. It was when we decided we were going to do the farewell tour, we knew we wanted to play the Ryman. I mean, there's just as everything we've been saying, this classic building, a place that we had played many times before. But we had no idea. We had not, a lot of people don't know this, we had not toured in about a year and a half. So we thought, is anybody going to even come to this show? And we sold out one and then another one quickly. And we went, well, let's push it and see what a third one, and then we sold it out, very fortunately. The Ryman, it's a destination place. It's a place where people come in from all over. It's not like that every night you play in certain cities. There's just like you got a venue and that's it. When you've got a place like the Ryman, people want to go out of their way. A lot of people driving for hours, people flying in to go see a show there. And it's special.
I bet you had fans go to all 3.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We did. And we got to do a little meet and greet kind of we would do a request time. So when we did a meet and greet before the show for special VIP members, they'd come in and just, we'd have maybe 50 people in the audience, if that, maybe 30 or 40, and just be able to kind of play acoustically on the stage, Wow. And you don't have the big PA and the lights and all that stuff. You're just kind of taking it back to the way it was 125 years ago.
Sure. So when you guys first went out on tour, you probably do everything on the first album, maybe a few covers to stretch out a set list. But when you do the farewell tour and you've got, you got 28 number ones to pick from, let alone album cuts. Right. How hard a set list was that to try and make everybody happy? Yeah,
it was really hard. What we ended up doing is we started from the very first record. I forget how many studio albums we had, maybe 13 or something like that. And we went through and we picked at least one song from every single record that we ever recorded. So that was special, except for the Christmas album. We didn't do that one.
Well, it would have been Christmas in June, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Well, let's come full circle because you're kind of operating on morning radio time this morning. There's lots of mornings I come in on about 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but you guys were in Marietta, Georgia at the Strand last night for a CD release show. in with Coffee Country and Cody this morning, and tonight on the Grand Ole Opry
I haven't
stage.
stayed up this late in a long time.
Yeah. You know, one of my great Powerball dreams is, if I just have unlimited wealth, is to get an old theater, rehab it, and just do music I like and shows I like. And the Strand just seems like it would be right up my alley.
It really is. What's funny is when we first started playing it 20 years ago, and I was telling you earlier, for the people who didn't hear, my kids got to open up for me on stage last night at the Strand Theater. This is where I got my start, in the Marietta Square in Georgia. I was 20 years old when I was playing there, and I looked last night at my kids playing, and my daughter just turned 20, and so it just really was a flashback, and it was a great memory for us. But yes, that theater, when I played there, it was a dump.
Right.
It was probably 80 years old, and wallpaper falling off the walls, and just carpet tore up, but the city did an amazing job a few years ago going in and renovating, and it's really nice now.
To come full circle, ironically, late 80s into the early 90s, you just described the Ryman Auditorium.
Oh, really? Wow.
Pigeons living in the balcony and broken windows, and now the palace that it's become.
Yeah.
There's something so cool about something old and historical that's been given a rebirth.
Yeah, it's a redemption, as you said, a rebirth for something and it gives us hope that can happen in our own lives.
Well, it is officially CD release day as well for Mac Powell and the Family Reunion, and Back Again, and you get to do some songs on the Opry tonight. I was listening to the whole record. It seems like it would be a really fun record to play live.
It is. In fact, last night we didn't play every song from the record. We played a lot, and it's I don't know, there's something about these songs. It's got a little bit of an old school feel to it. I tell people our tagline is a little bit of rock, a little bit of country, a little bit of gospel, all wrapped up in a whole lot of love. And when you've got that, you got guys that love playing that music, and we're getting in a van and trailer and driving through the night to get to the next gig. I feel like a kid again, and it's really exciting for us.
Well, that's why everybody starts at the beginning, right? I mean, it's that fun, it's that excitement, it's getting on the road and playing the music.
Absolutely. You forget about all the record company stuff and the business side of things, and you go, we love music, and we're going to do what it takes to get out there and play it for people. So that's why I appreciate you having us.
Yeah. How tough has it been? Because, I mean, when you guys were busy, you guys were really busy. How tough to balance road life and family life? Because you got 5 kids as well.
Right. It's it's a tough. You have to be very intentional. When I'm home, I'm home. Like I don't go out with the guys, and I don't go bowling, and I don't play golf. It's like I do all that stuff because I get enough of that on the road. So when you're on the road, go have your guy time with your buds and going to the movies and that kind of stuff. Or going to a ball game. When I'm at home, it's like I am serving my family, and I think that's a good balance that we've found for many years. We're not gone as much as people think. We're gone about 100 days out of the year, which is a lot. But I tell my wife, there's 265 days that I'm home, right? It doesn't feel that way, but
Could be Dylan.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's the opposite on that tour, probably.
Right.
Well, Mac, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Take me back, by the way, first Opry memory. First time on the Opry.
First time for the Opry. Well, I got invited. There was a record, a gospel record being put together with some gospel artists and some country artists, and they were basically taking all these old school hymns and things and doing it live at the Opry. And I got to sing with Charlie Daniels, and it was I'll Fly Away, and just an amazing moment for me. And I grew up, I had his records and listened to Charlie Daniels growing up, and just to be able to share the stage with him and to see that big husky man come in and play that fiddle and sing that strong vocal, I'll never forget it.
He's like a human Mount Rushmore.
He is. He really is.
Charlie Daniels, he's a national treasure.
Yes.
Mac Powell, thank you. The new record is Back Again.